What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Let's Talk. And today, what I wanted to do is give my thoughts on the Bayonetta 3 situation. I know I'm a little late to the party, and I do apologize for that. But I was having a few audio and technical issues when I first did my first upload of this, and I wanted to make sure I did a better job. So uh, that's why it's coming out now. Basically, what I want to talk about is a couple things. One, who's at fault really for this Bayonetta 3 situation? The original teaser, I want to say, came out in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I want to say it's 2018. And it was one of those short trailers, kind of like what they did with the teaser for Bayonetta 2 back in 2012, where it was like a 40-second trailer. You don't get to see much, and you get to see the logo. Well, we had a pandemic, and before anybody says anything, you had that. I know people say, "Well, that doesn't matter." Yet it actually does because of how people in companies had to change how they were working. So that's one thing. The second thing too is I think that at the people who are really at fault is both the fans and the action and Nintendo themselves. I mean, one, they should have never, in my opinion, never have released that trailer that early. They just shouldn't have. And the fans, because a lot of times fans love to say, "Give us this, just show us something," even though the game is nowhere near being done or ready for even a trailer. I'm pretty sure when that trailer dropped, that game was what 30% complete, probably if that. I mean, we don't know. At least I haven't read how long they've been working on Bayonetta 3. And given that they've had other projects come out, I doubt they've been working on it since the end of Bayonetta 2. So it's probably been probably what 1 year, maybe two that they've been work. Maybe I'll probably give it like 6 months before they even drop that teaser. So I think both sides are to really blame in this, just because one, Nintendo should not have, to me, should not have released that trailer until, I don't think any teaser trailer should really come out until a game is at least, especially one like this, not a game, not an indie game or a game you're trying to drum up support for. I think a game like Bayonetta, which a franchise was already lucrative and makes money for you, you should not put out a trailer until you're at least 70% complete with the game, at least. You should never put out a trailer until then, because that way you can manage expectations better than just putting a trailer out when you still got years left in development, to be honest. I am very much against having teaser trailers out and the game isn't even halfway done. I'm very against that because, one, people don't know how. It's obvious at this point that fans do not know how to manage their expectations. You have people who pretend like that game is the only game they're ever going to play on Switch, which I highly doubt that. If you ask people, I highly doubt that Bayonetta 3 is the only game they're going to buy on Switch. I highly doubt that. You may have one, maybe two, but I highly doubt that's the only game that they are really going to buy on the Nintendo Switch. I just don't believe it, and I don't think anybody else should believe it either. So I really don't like or understand why you would even do that, honestly. From a business standpoint, I mean, yeah, you want to hype up people and let them know what's coming down the pipeline, but if it's that early in development, you're not doing yourself any favors, because you'll have people, especially nowadays, that I don't know how many times I've seen on Twitter and Facebook and all kind of social media where this many X number of days from the last Bayonetta announcement. We're X number of days from the last Nintendo Direct. You know, I'm like, come on, man. Like, temper your expectations a little better. But I think Nintendo needs to actually, be like, look, we probably shouldn't have did. I don't think any company should do that, really. Honestly, I don't think any company, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, EA, Activision, Ubisoft, I don't think any company needs to drop a trailer that early on, knowing that you're not even halfway done with development. And then on top of that, the pandemic did not make things any better, because now everybody had to shuffle to try to figure out how to work Once that happened, then you could go back to work. Now, in the case of a studio like Platinum, if they are used to being in a close knit environment and working off each other in the office space, that probably caused a lot of issues because now people have to work from home. But when you have to work from home, now you got to set up Zoom calls, you have to set up all these type of meetings. When before you just went across the hall. You see what I'm saying? It's a very different type of working environment, and people have to get used to it. That's not an excuse. That's a reality. Unfortunately, I mean, a lot of people have had to deal with that reality as of late. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, you can ask parents how that virtual learning thing is going. You know, it's very it's a situation that's very different, and it does take a little getting used to. But once you get used to it and you hammer out a path and a plan, then you'll be able to, navigate it better. And I think that's what's happening now. Do I think Bayonetta 3 is going to come out this year? Maybe. I think, honestly, just going by how Bayonetta 2 went, they did that teaser trailer in 2012. The game came out in 2014. And they had a Nintendo Direct leading up to it. They had a Treehouse Live leading up to it. I think, honestly, had the pandemic not happened, Bayonetta 3 probably would have came out last year, had it not happened. But, and everybody knows this, Nintendo does stuff when they want to do it. So, if they want to have a Treehouse Live, they'll have it when they getting ready for it. And to be honest, people should know that. I mean, especially if you've been following them at any point, you should know that, hey, when they get ready to do something, they will do it. They are not beholden to anybody. And I think that's something that frustrates fans a little bit. But at the same time, if you have been a fan, you already know that, so it shouldn't even bother you at this point. But to me, I just think that the whole Bayonetta 3 thing is being blown out of proportion, and with Kamiya saying maybe you should forget about it, it's probably because, more than likely, I think that was either a mistranslation or people reading too much into it. Because, like I said before, yes, Bayonetta 3 is going to be, I believe it's going to be an awesome game. I love the games in the series. Hell, I love what Platinum does action-wise. But there's more to play. So, fixating on one game is not good. Becoming obsessive and fixated on one game is not good. And I think that's what he was trying to convey when he said, just forget about it. Because once we do release the trailer, once we do release everything we have planned for you, and you actually get your hands on the game, then it'll be a fun experience. Because right now, the way people are acting, once they get it, they're not going to be happy with it anyway. And that's going to be sad if you're thinking about it if you think about how people react to stuff anyway. But, hey, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that it's been blown out of proportion, his comments? Do you think that both sides are to blame for how the situation has progressed? Me personally, y'all know how I feel about it, but let's talk about it in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Winging It podcast over on the main channel, and I'll see you guys on our next Let's Talk. Peace out, peeps. Peeps.